Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, if you're wondering what happened to my face, just calm it down. Okay, the aliens have got me. Okay, I've got this bug. It's hit my throat. I can't talk. Now, last week on Monday, exactly 7 days from now, I did a podcast with Al Payton and the boys. It was about, I think it was about 2 o'clock. No problem, so everything was good. Then I was playing my FIFA game. Okay, I was playing FIFA online. I was losing as usual. Okay, the kids always beat me anyway. I was playing FIFA with my 93 rated squad. And out of nowhere, my throat started hurting, just out of the blue. Like, I was perfect, I was fine, I was nothing wrong. Then all of a sudden, I got a sore throat, and the sore throat was like someone was cutting my throat. The aliens came, that's what it was, the aliens came to my house. They attacked me, okay, and so I became an alien. Just calm it down. Now, I found the cure, how to get rid of this alien face. Okay, all I gotta do is drink water, okay, and the aliens go. Then they come back within 10 minutes, then drink more water, then they go again. Anyway, we're going to go through this week's and a little bit of last week's episode, because we didn't do anything last week, so we're just sleeping, okay? So we're going to go through a bit of last week, not much, and a lot of this week. Now, this week, we scored the 21-98, okay? Now, and I wasn't happy with this, because we should have scored more, because I made some dumb mistakes, okay? But sometimes... Actually, most of the times, the coach of Abs Magic is a dum-dum, okay? Makes the dumbest mistakes you can ever have, and we made one of those this week. I'll go through that in a minute. Actually, I'll go through that now. Now, last week, I did a ton of research, and I was researching these players. I wish I'd done the video, and I showed you the research I went through, okay? So, I did a ton of research, and it came to the conclusion that Simpkin... And when I did my research, and I'll go for that this week as to what my research outcome was with Simpkin, but he was going to be most likely a top 8 forward, and his price at 361k was a bargain. Okay, now, so I got him in. Okay, so I had no doubts with Simpkin. Now, the next player I was going to get was because I got a third player in last week. Okay, and that was the Essendon boy. What's his name? Caldwell. Okay, now I brought in Caldwell, although I was going to bring in Curnow, but I just had doubts on Curnow. Had a full forward. Let me show you something. Now, if you notice that my face is back to normal, because I drank some water, okay, it might change very soon, but at the moment, it's lasting. Let's see how long it lasts. But with Curnow, okay, forget about last week's score, okay? Let's not worry about the 118. I went through all these scores, all of them, okay? 80, 81, 90, 70. I went through all these scores, and I looked, and he kicked 2 goals, 2 behinds in this game, all right? Scored an 80. I looked at the marks, took 5 marks. The week before, he took 7 marks, kicked 3 goals, okay? And scored an 80. And I don't know how many of these were contested, but I remember watching the game. There was a few contested there. All right, the week before, scored 90, kicked 4 goals, 4 behinds. It's not easy to kick 4 goals. All right, 4 goals is not easy. And there's winter coming, as you can see my throat. The aliens come at in the winter time. Just calm it down. Anyway. Alien time, which is the winter time, he kicked 4 goals. 4 goals, 4. It's not that easy to kick in winter, okay? So he scored a 90. That's not much, okay? It is okay, but it's a big. It's 8 scoring shots, okay? So I thought I'd rather have a midfielder than have Curnow. So I brought in the Essendon boy, okay? Now the thing that got me was. The game against Geelong, he scored 118, all right? But the score is irrelevant because it says 5 goals, okay? But he had 3 goals. He had 6 kicks that were effective from his 3 goals. So 3 of them were goals. So there was only another 3 effective kicks, and he only had 2 marks. Mind you, he only had, one? He only had 1 mark up until that time. So the 3-quarter time, he only had 1 mark. So 1 mark No, sorry, he had 2 marks. Got one in the third quarter. So he had 2 marks, okay? 2 marks, a few free kicks for, 6 effective disposals, 3 goals. 3 goals, okay? Not 3, but 3. Okay, 3 goals. And he was on 90 points. Mind you, then he got scaled up to 99 points without touching the ball. So I couldn't work out how it's possible. I mean, considering the previous games, when he's got 3 goals, only scores an 80, and takes more marks, in this game, and mind you, the goals he kicked weren't like game changers, okay? He had the second goal of the game. Usually, the first goal of the game is more like an impact goal, but the second one, they don't usually count it, right? And so there's a lot of scoring done in between there. It just didn't make any sense. But then I started getting jealous, okay? There was a jealousy problem, okay? Now, I saw other people bragging about his 118. The aliens are back. Okay, just calm it down. Okay, now they're back. They're here. Just don't say nothing. Okay, they'll go away soon. I'm going to have some water soon. Anyway, the throat's killing me again. But I started getting jealous, okay? I mean, I don't want everyone to score 118s, and he's going to play Richmond next week, okay? So I thought if my other players on field, if all these players on field, where are they? Where's my spuds? All right, the team. Where's the team? Go back to the team classic. Okay, so if all my players on field can score 100, because they're all going good, okay, so they all can score 100 each, I'll just reverse the trade. I'll bring back Fraser, who I traded out for Caldwell, and I'll just get Caldwell. I'll just get Kerner next week. That was the plan. However, I didn't realise that mind you, Caldwell scored 115, I think it was, or one. Actually, it was 118. Rouse scored an 82. So I could have got an extra 36 points. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're ranked in the top, and Rouse my worst player, I would have got rid of Rouse score and had a 118 through Caldwell. Plus, I would have actually preferred to have Caldwell than have Kerno because I just can't trust him. However, now we're stuck because Caldwell's price went up double of what Kerno's price went up, and I can't afford Caldwell. Just calm it down. So we go through what happened this week anyway. Let's go through the games this week. Let's not worry about the Kerno and Caldwell problem, okay? Because that's a problem I'm going to sort out during the week. I've got to work out how I'm going to bring in Caldwell. Because I prefer Caldwell over Kerno, believe it or not, but I do. Now, Luke Ryan scored a 93. Now, something's wrong with Luke Ryan. Break even of 180. Now, he's owned nearly 99%. Nearly everyone in the top 1% own him. His matchups coming up. Okay, now who's he got coming up? Well, he's got Sydney at the SCG. He's got Richmond. Well, against Richmond, he scored a 180. All right, if you can recall, they're back. Okay, the aliens are back. Just don't make too much noise. Let them go away soon. Now, Luke Ryan, he scored the 180 against Richmond. If Richmond was not in this list here of games he's going to play against, I would have heavily considered trading him out. And because I need to be different, okay? And if the team now, okay, is we are ranked. Let's get it over here. All right, we are ranked 83rd. All right, now 32,800 points. Remember that figure. All right. Now let's go to go back to 32,800 or 806. Okay, 6 points extra, but it all counts. Now 32,800 points. When you're going for the rankings, and mind you, that's my boy here, Nat. Okay, I just spoke to him on Twitter, and he's a top bloke, very humble man. Now, I'm 600 points behind Nat. Now, Nat is not the enemy. Okay, now Nathan is. I'm joking, all right, but Nat's not the enemy. Okay, now, not that anyone here is an enemy, but I need to get into the top 10. Okay, now, 32,800 points. I'm only 350 points behind DD. That's Mark's team. Now, I'm only he's the man of Mark. He's my target. That's Mark. Now, Mark, if you're watching, I'm after you. Okay, just calm it down. Okay, now, I need 350 points to catch Mark. Okay, now, I think 600 points to catch Nats is going to be a little bit challenging. Okay, so I'm giving Nats and Nats. So the two Nats can chase each other, and maybe Kane. Actually, my boy here. Joel, he's gonna do something as well. So Joel, okay, you might get him as well. But my main target here is Mark. Okay, I'll put a target on Mark now. I'm after Mark's because I want top 10. Okay, I don't care if I come first, fourth, or 10th, but I do care if I come 11th. Okay, I need the 10th spot. So we're only 250. What was it? 800, 350 points behind Mark. Now, to get Mark, let's have a look at Mark's team. Okay. Now, this is not necessarily has to be Mark, okay, but we're just saying the 10th spot, all right? Now, Mark's team, he's got Luke Ryan. I mean, this is very similar to my defense. If Luke Ryan didn't have that Richmond game, I would love to swap this player out and bring in a different player. So if Luke Ryan was to score the 90s, my player maybe goes 120s, I get 30 points a week over 9 weeks. That's 270 points. Then I have to find another pot, all right? But that would have been the thing that I would have been after. But that's not going to work out. Now, Mark's also got Clark. I got Clark as well, okay? Just he's showing off with his Clarks. Anyway, now, he's got a very good team. He's actually got Rosie in already. He's also got Simpkin. He's got a spare. Okay, now Mark's team's much better than mine. I'm going to catch Mark. I can't catch any of these players. I've got spares already. Okay, he's got the Bont on the bench. His team is way advanced than mine. Anyway, he's got Jerry Cameron. Okay, I'm not sure about the Jeremy Cameron move because now the Hawkins is out. Cameron's going to go in the forward line, so I'm not sure how he's going to cope. But anyway, you try. What I'm trying to say is I need to start anti-podding players now. All right, so Luke Ryan would have been number one target for me. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. And take note, he doesn't have Raul, okay? There's no Raul here. So virtually, Luke Ryan is going to stay in the team the rest of the year, all right? It's not an issue. I mean, most people would want to get him in, okay? For obvious reasons. Besides the fact that the coach has said that they don't want to do any more hogging the ball. So I was hoping to trade him out, but it's not going to work. So I'm going to have to keep him. Now, Dale becomes my only pod in defence to most of my rivals in the top 10, all right? So Dale's my only pod. Now, in the midfield, I've got too many spuds in here, okay? Now, I've got Walsh, I've got Rowell, okay? Now, I've got Green, okay? I've got the Bont in here. So, virtually my M6, 7, and 8 are very iffy, and that's a problem. We need to fix this. And unfortunately, we've only got 5 trades left. The rucks I'm happy with. The forward line, as you saw in Mark's team, he's also brought in Simpkin early. He must have done some research as well. Okay, got Simpkin in. Now, we're going to bring in the forward here, okay? And now, I've decided that I am going to bring in Curnow this week. Not because I want to, only because I don't have a choice. Because, number one, I don't have enough money, okay, to bring in the Essendon boy. And number two, Curnow has a ceiling. Now, we're just hoping that Curnow kicks 5 goals every week for the rest of the year, okay? Now, if that happens, we're in business. So, we've got to rely on some luck now, because picking a player like Curnow is just all luck for me. We're going to go through some of the games. Now, we're going to go through all of the games, okay? Now, there's only, how many games were there this week? There's only about 6 games, so there's not many. Now, what we're looking for now, besides going through all the stats and saying, well, this player played well, we're not about that, okay? We're going to look for players that you and I both are interested in, okay? They're going to be players such as a defender. You may have a defender who's letting you down, okay? Or you may not have a finished defense. So we're looking for, let's say, a D6, all right? And we're looking for maybe a midfielder that you may have that you want us become a spud like Rowell, okay, and you want to get rid of him. Or you may have Clayton Oliver, okay, you want to get rid of him. Oh my God, Clayton Oliver, can you believe this? Anyway, we'll talk about him later. Now, so we're going to find replacements for spuds. We're going to find a defender for you or for me, okay, and we're going to find possibly the F6 that we're after. Okay, now who we're going to pick? All right, so out of this week's information that we got, who we got to pick from? Now let's have a look. All right, now let's go to first up, Carlton. Is there anyone here that's of any interest? Okay, now the player that was of interest was Cripps. 41 touches, okay? Now, 41 touches, it's actually not bad, okay? Could be a huge pod, and he's cheap. The problem with Cripps is the same problem with Walsh, okay? They can't kick, okay? There's a problem. How do the two best players at Carlton, they can't kick the ball? It doesn't make any sense, okay? You're a junior footballer, and you can't kick a ball. I don't get it, okay? Anyway, I don't want to brag, okay, but I'm going to do it anyway. I kick a ball really well, okay, when I was a junior. I only travelled 25 metres, but that's the point. The point is, it was always accurate. Walsh can't kick a 25-metre accurate kick. Now, so at Carlton, besides the ruckman, the Conning, there's no one of any interest. Speaking of the Conning, okay, let's have a look at him. Now, a player like De Koning, he's priced at 600k, or just under, right, 590. He will suit a team that has maybe a Jackson at R2, okay? If you've got Jackson at R2, you can probably get it to Koning. But if you've got Gorn at R1, and if you've got Grundy at R2, or who else could you have at R2? You could have English, you could have Marshall, okay? If you've got one of those four, are you going to gamble and put into Conning? Well, depends where you're ranked. Okay, now if you're ranked, let's say you're ranked top. If I was ranked, say the top 300, I wouldn't mind taking a gamble on the Conning, and I'd probably remove a Marshall or an English and bring in a Conning. If I was ranked 300, say 400, okay, and I want to move up the ranks and break into the top 100. You could even get into the top 10. If the Conning's going to score you 189s every week, you're vice captain him. You could even get into the top 10. I mean, look at his scores. His last four: 176, 146. Mind you, these two, the ruckman weren't the best. Okay, and then you got Port Adelaide, who didn't have the best ruckman, and you got Gold Coast. I think they had the rookie ruckman at the time. I'm not certain on that. All right, but the problem for the Conning is, if he's not the number one ruckman, he gives you these scores: 28, 66s, 67. It's actually not that bad, but it's just a risk because you got Wits going to come in. Sorry, not Wits, Pitts, okay? Pitts going to come in. So, does Pitts come in? But because people ask me, should I get the Conning? I always said no. Okay, don't get the Conning because it's too risky. Yeah, but now what do I tell them? Because look at this, okay? They didn't get him. Too risky. But look at this. 140, 146, 176. They're probably looking at me now and saying, what is he? He's ruined my whole team with his advice. But it was the right advice at the time. Pitternet played reserves. We don't know if he's going to come back this week. If he does, people that brought in the Conning are going to suffer. Their score's going to drop bad again. So it's a tough one. All right, now what do you do? Now, with the Conning, his draw coming up. All right, the North Melbourne game's a tough one. The rest are easy, okay? There is no tough games here. Maybe the Richmond game, that's not even tough for him. So he actually has a very good draw coming up for the Conning. He could smack all these and go 120s, 130s, 170s. Okay, he could do anything. I don't think he'll go 170 again because he's not going to pay his brother every week. So he may go to 140s, 130s. These are more realistic. But the problem is Grundy's also scoring these scores. So don't get excited up to 176. Geelong didn't have a ruckman, okay? These are more realistic, 130s, 140s. But remember, Grundy also scores 140s, 150s, 125s. So I'd still stick with Grundy. But if you want to gamble, okay, if you're willing to gamble, okay, maybe. So let's have a look. How much does Grundy cost these days? Let's go to ruckman. Okay, Grundy's 643k, nearly the same price as Gorn. So they've nearly got each other. Grundy's caught up, pretty much. Grundy's last few scores. Okay, let's have a look. Right, where are they? I brought him in against Geelong. So Geelong's the easy ruckman, right? I brought him in. He scored a 153. Then Adelaide, he had no ruckman. So he had no ruckman 2 weeks in a row. 153, 154, and a 124 against GWS, who's actually an easier opponent as well. Although of late he's become a bit tougher. Okay, Briggsy, he must have had a girlfriend, because at the start of the year he'd broken up. It's a true story. Okay, Shaw told me this. Actually, when Shaw said to me, because I told Shaw, okay, his ex-teammate, right. I asked him. I said to him, "What do you think, Heath Shaw? What do you think about Briggs?" And he said, "Don't touch him. Okay, he's broken up with his girlfriend, and he may not score that well." Okay, so I didn't do it. I listened to him, and it was true. He wasn't scoring well, but lately he's become a tough opponent again. So maybe he's found new love. Okay, he's in love again. So he's a bit tougher to score against now. But anyway, let's get back to the games. Now at Carlton, Harry Mackay, okay, scored a 68. Sard, 67. Now, these two are very cheap. I know my good friend Tim Mitchell has actually got both of them. Okay, mind you, he also brought in Curnow. Okay, so he's very happy when he got Curnow. But what's wrong with Mackay? I mean, Mackay kicked 3 goals, scored a 68. Curnow had 3 goals till 3/4 time. It was on 90. Okay, till 3/4 time, plus scaling on top during the 4th quarter, without touching the ball, went to 99, nearly 100. Did kick the goal, then he started flying again. But the point is, Mackay isn't scoring, but Curnow is. Why is that? Because Mackay goes up the ground as well. Okay, I just can't work it out. Let's check out Mackay. Now, Mackay's priced at 416k now. It's very cheap. Okay, mind you, at the start of the year, it was Mackay that was on fire. 130, 112, 137. He was the one that was on fire. Whereas Curnow at the start of the year, okay, mind you, Mackay was doing a bit of ruck work too. But Curnow was going 75. I mean, even against Richmond, only scored 90 that first round, all right? Against North, scored a 122. Going to play both these two teams again. But Mackay, get back to Wisma. Is that all you're on Mackay? We're on Mackay now. 137. Then his scoring slowly went down. And it's gone down and down. Okay, he's just not scoring. Something wrong. Now, we saw the draw coming up. It's going to get better for him. He's got Richmond again. The GWS game, now their full back is injured. Okay, so he's out. Okay, maybe he's got Aaliyah now, so it's still tough. The Dogs back line, okay, got Jones, but got North Melbourne. They're not that strong. Got Port, they're not that big in defence. Collingwood's got a few big boys there. The Hawks don't have many big boys. West Coast, they've got big boys, okay, and St Kilda. So his draw's very good for Mackay. If you're going to consider Mackay or Curnow, the price is very similar. The only thing is, can you have both? Is the question, okay? If you put Mackay at F7 and then loop him, because Carlton have a lot of early games, so you can actually see what Mackay scores. So if you've got the cash, you can have Mackay as the F7 and hope that both the boys have a day out with Curnow and Mackay together. So it could work for you, all right? So it's something to think about as an F7, but nothing else, not an F6. And that's where Tim Mitchell's done as well. He's got Mackay at F7 and Sard at D7. Whichever two go big, he puts them on fields. Now, let's go back to Carlton. Now, let's talk about Sam Walsh. Sam Walsh, 33 touches with a goal, and only scores a 110. 63% disposal efficiency, 6 clangers, same as Cripps, 6 clangers, 12 contested possessions. Cripps had 18. Okay, it's just something wrong. Walsh, it's the boots. Okay, he went to those pink boots. I told him, don't touch the pink boots. The pink boots they deserve to be given to the Ferraris. The people that deserve the pink boots are the people that can kick the ball. You should wear the black boots. If you can't kick, you don't deserve the pink boots. You deserve the black ones. So if Walsh goes back to the black boots, he'll start kicking well again. Okay, that's my theory right now. Now, let's forget about Carlton now, because there's no one else to talk about here. Let's go to Geelong. Now, at Geelong, we have Tom Stewart at 107. Let's have a look at Tom Stewart's stats. I actually think that Tom Stewart's not that bad, okay? Even though he hasn't been scoring. Let's have a look. We go to kick-ins, all right? Now, Stewart has had 3, Guthrie's had 3, and Duncan's had 5. The previous week, it's shared, okay? You can see it's always been shared. So he's taken a few, but not many. Let's go to last year, all right? Go to last year. They're the same. Nothing's changed, okay? People are saying he's lost his kick-ins, but he hasn't. It's the same thing. He even had 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed because Geelong always share their kick-ins. So he hasn't lost kick-ins. Okay, so what has he lost? Well, why isn't he scoring? All right. Besides, he's been tagged every week. Are there tags coming for him? Let's have a look if there are any tags coming his way. Well, having a look at his scoring, he's only turned up 1, 2, 3, 4 times since round 3 or since round 2. Only 4 tons. That's not good enough. Okay, it's very bad. Lost nearly 200k. He's 461k, but who's he got coming up now? Now, Essendon's got Guelphy. All right, so they may tag him. Okay, he's going to cop another tag with Guelphy. Now, Hawthorn, I don't think they're going to tag him. All right, Collingwood won't tag him. The Dogs won't tag him. North won't tag him. Adelaide, Freo, they won't tag. St Kilda tag the midfielders. They're not going to tag the forward. West Coast. So he's virtually got no tags left. All taken care of now. Against St Kilda, first round, he's got 105. Okay, now he's going to play St Kilda again. Who else is going to play again? He's going to play North Melbourne again. He's got a 108 against North Melbourne. Okay, so you can see the tons there. The tags are all here. All right. Who else has he played? Has he played Freo yet? No, he hasn't played Freo yet. West Coast. Has he played West Coast? Adelaide. Has he played Adelaide? He has. Against Adelaide, he's got 134. So he's got Adelaide as well. So what I'm trying to say is, Tom Stewart is nearly ready for the picking. Okay, at 461k, if you're going to bring in a pod, I prefer Tom Stewart over Rosie. Believe it or not. Now, and you can actually move one of your maybe a Dacos into the midfield and take off one of your players. And if I was going to bring a 23rd, my 23rd would be Tom Stewart. Now, there's only 50k difference between them. And I'm looking for his break even. What's his break even? 85. He'll probably get that. He'll probably be borderline because he's going to have the Guelphy tag. Next week, I'll be targeting Tom Stewart. Most likely, I'll actually be targeting him and going down to one trade, okay, with Tom Stewart. So it's something I'm going to think about. Now, going further down to Geelong, I've heard talks, okay, about Myers, okay. Now, he's had 23 disposals, scored the 83. He's not doing it either. 56% disposal efficiency. I don't think he's up to it, okay? Maybe in fantasy he's doing all right, but Supercoach-wise, I don't play fantasy. I haven't been following him for fantasy, but in Supercoach, he just hasn't done it. So, Myers, this is one of his big games. Kicked a goal as well, 115 fantasy points and only 83 Supercoach points. Much better options out there than Myers. And that's pretty much it for Geelong. Let's have actually Clark is a spud, okay? 31 points for a whole game. Him and Oliver, they're close mates. They hang out together every week. Anyway, we want to talk about Clark. Now, I'm going to talk about Port Adelaide and the Lions. Now, we're just talking about Rosie, all right? And mind you, he was tagged this game. But Rosie's form, very similar to Tom Stewart's form, okay? Mind you, Rosie did get injured and had a really low score in between there, but his form hasn't been good anyway, besides the opening couple of rounds. Let's have a look at Rosie's form. Now, besides the first 4 rounds, and in one of these games he kicked 4 goals or 3 goals or something, so it was a big game. Some of these games were also close games, so there was a high impact. Plus against Richmond, look, 90 against Richmond, 102. They're not big scores, 102. Only had 2 big scores, 152 and 125. They had 2 big scores there. The rest are borderline, okay? Now you got a 65, a 91, a 53. He got injured, all right? Came back, scored a 39, then got injured, okay? They came back, scored a 75. He hasn't set the world on fire, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Games coming up. He's got St Kilda, all right? Now, there's a tag coming. It's either going to hit him or it's going to hit Butters, one of the two. Most likely Butters, okay? So that's who I would target. Against Carlton there's a tag. Against Sydney there's a tag. And they're going to take somebody, all right? We don't know who it's going to be. But there's tags coming in there. He's not going to get away from the tag. Probably these 3 games here, he might not cop a tag. But even the dogs are tagging these days. Everyone's tagging. And he is the captain, so they would possibly want to tag him as well because he's dangerous in front of goals. So something to think about. Rosie is not my option as the spare, even though he's cheap, 410k. I don't think if I had the 410k, which I don't have, all right, but if I did have it, I probably wouldn't get Rosie. I'd be looking at someone else. Now, if you're looking for a defender, you got Dan Houston here. Okay, it's got the 102. 21 touches. It's good score. Okay, but I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure if he's as good as what's out there. But then again, the defenders are now dropping off. Okay, I said Ridley was one of the best. He didn't score, but we'll get to the Essendon game in a minute. But that's pretty much it. With Port Adelaide, you can see here even Wines' scores are dropping off because Rosie's back, so Weinstein is now going downwards. Anyway, let's move over to the Lions. Now, if ever you wanted 2 players to bring you back in rankings, these 2 are it. Okay, Lachie Neale and Josh Dunkley. That will be the targets that I would be targeting if I was going to do a sideways trade. If I had the cash, none of the above apply to me. I don't have any cash, okay, so I can't get them. But if I was to, these 2 would be on my radar. Now let's have a look at Neil. Is probably going to be at a price soon, but Dunkley, he's looking good. Okay, 144. Last week he didn't do that well. The week before he didn't do that well, but still, it's not too bad. Now, we talk about full forwards. Now, Joe Danaher, 3 goals. He's got a 104. Okay, now he's probably better than Mackay. Okay, because Danaher does ruck. Okay, now let's take a look at Joe Danaher. If you're looking for that F6 spot, is he cheap? Let's have a look. Actually, he's not that cheap. I thought he was cheaper. He's 507k. He's quite expensive. Okay, now his recent form has actually been really good. There's no, besides that round 5 game, there's no score under 79 or 78. He seems to be stuck on a 79, three 79s and 178, and then a few 86s, a 134, a 90, a 130, a 104, and his draw coming up. He's got Melbourne, he's got Adelaide, he's got West Coast. I mean, he's going to score well these 3 games. He may struggle against Sydney. He's got St Kilda. So it's not that bad, okay? So Danaher as a pod, okay? So I don't think many people own him. I'm not sure if it mentions how many own him here. Actually, it does. What does it say? Where is it? It's 2% owned, okay? No, it's not. It doesn't say. He's in 1% of teams at Danaher, okay? So no one's got him. So if you want a pod, Danaher is not bad. 1%. He could go nuts. Brisbane Lions now firing. So the ball's going to the forward line a lot. Brisbane started poorly. Now they're on fire. They're chasing a top 4 spot. And Danaher is going to get a lot of action. Besides that, I mean, we've already talked about Zorko in previous videos. That's pretty much it with our research for Lions. I mean, Neil Dunkley, obviously guns in the midfield, much better than what I've got from M6 onwards. And Zorko, if you don't have him already, you should be starting to look right now to get him. Okay, now let's have a look at the next game. Now, we go to GWS in Sydney. Now, Tom Green is back. Okay, now 153. That came out of nowhere. All right, I wasn't expecting that. Now, Lucky Whitfield, he's cheap. And a 105, he's got 25 touches. He's taken all the kickings. Let me show you something about Lucky Whitfield. Well, actually, this week, he didn't take all, he only took 5 kickings. The previous week was 12. Okay, you can see here, 4 big ones, 12, 14. It was only 5 this week. But still, and Himmelberg taking the other 4. But even 5 kickings for Lucky Whitfield. And scoring, so that's 20 points from kick-ins, and that's 80 points from general play. That's not too bad. And if we go to Lucky Whitfield's scoring and heat maps, the last 3 weeks, 105, 134, 108, had this one bad game, and that was against Geelong. Okay, I can't remember the game, but he had 27 touches that game. It's not like he had didn't touch the ball. Okay, went at 67%, so it must have, you can notice here, it's 80, 89, 77, but that was a bad game, 67. There's another game here, 68%, scored 54. Right, so it's when his kicking efficiency drops, his scoring drops, okay? The 85, he still had a good game, 29 touches against Carlton, for the 85, going at 83%. I could have watched that game, but anyway, I can't remember the game. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, Lucky Whitfield is actually very cheap for what he can do. I don't mind him as a pod. Now, Toby Bedford scored an 86. Last week, he scored an 88. He's very cheap. The only problem is we don't know if this role is going to stay permanent or not. Now, if his 86 had no goals, which is actually even better. Not that it's good, but it's better for us knowing that he can score if he kicking goals. He had 18 touches, 9 tackles. Last week it was 10 tackles. So he's tagging. He's got a very similar role to Caldwell, okay, from Essendon. Doing virtually the same thing, but not getting as many touches. The problem with Bedford is when he tags, he sticks to the player, whereas Caldwell, when he tags, and when they've got the ball, he doesn't tag anymore, he attacks. Whereas Bedford, he just stays as a tagger. He's got a job, he just sticks to it, which you can see here. He's done a good job. Warner didn't do much damage. Well, he did. He got 2 goals moving forward, but still, Supercoach-wise, he didn't. So it means he was under pressure a lot. Went at 45%, so he was under a lot of pressure. Maybe they stick with it, okay? But they lost, so maybe they don't. We don't know. Anyway, it's a risk. I don't think it's worth the risk because you've got other options. Especially this time of the year, it's too risky if not much trades left. Now, going to Sydney, and we've got Errol Goulden, 41 touches. I don't understand why GWS went and tagged, where is he, Warner, when Goulden is really the danger man. So I think it was poor coaching, to be honest. Mind you, Goulden went at 58%. Okay, imagine if Goulden went at 80%. This score would have been close to 200. So he actually underscored for what he can do. Keep in mind, Goulden, 151 or 41 touches. Remember, we saw before, mind you, with 12 contested possessions, we saw what the Carlton boy did. Okay, Cripps. Same touches, 41, only scored 99. Goulden, much more effective, even though it shows 58%. A lot of goal assists in his scoring. So, Jets. Okay, now Grundy we don't have to talk about. Is there anyone else here that we should be targeting or looking at? And there probably isn't. All right, so let's move over. Now, Trent Rivers. Now, this is interesting. 131 Supercoach points. I would love to know how many points he scored in the last 5 minutes. Because I could swear when I looked at the scores, Rivers was never at the top. Okay, I can remember seeing Rivers roughly around about here. Okay, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's on 131 points. Similar to Uniac, they must have had the ball in Rivers' hands when points were being given out. So I think Rivers went nuts in the last 5 minutes, hence his big score. Now, 18 kicks and 3 handballs for a midfielder. That's not much. It's only 21. It's only 21 touches for a midfielder, all right, and a big score, all right, with a goal as well. 7 contested possessions. I don't really think Rivers is the answer. If you're gonna get Rivers, I'd rather get Whitfield. Okay, I think Whitfield's much better chance of scoring higher than Rivers is. Even though Rivers is cheaper, there's not much difference in price. I know there's a bit of hype around Rivers right now. They see the score, midfield minutes. I mean, Melbourne midfield is not working. Okay, so Rivers has got no one to play with. Okay, his team. You got Pickett there. He didn't do much. You got Salem who got subbed out at 3/4 time, 65. I don't know. Maybe it was high and they dropped it. I could swear I saw Salem at 77. So he must have lost some points during when they added the scores on. But anyway, Rivers is not for me. I'll probably pass on Rivers. Now, and there's no one in Melbourne that I'm interested in. Melbourne, they're not doing that well. I like to pick players from a team that's actually doing okay. Mind you, we're talking about North Melbourne at the bottom of the ladder, and I've got half the team from North Melbourne, but that's not the point, okay? The point is Melbourne, they just don't share the ball. I don't know, something wrong with Melbourne. Anyway, with North Melbourne, we talk about LDU, the 148. Wardlaw looks really good, okay? 122. I mean, I'd probably look at Wardlaw if I was going to look for a pod, okay? Now, he's unbelievable. Contested possessions, 15. I mean, you can look at that. 15 contested possessions, and Rivers in the midfield, 7. Double from Wardlaw. Look at LDU, 17 contested. There's a big difference there. Then you go to Melbourne, and you look at Oliver. 10 contested possessions, 14 touches for 32 points. Oliver, next year, if he's 300k, I'll get him. 350k, I'll think about it. Anything above that, I'm not interested. Okay, I've seen enough of Oliver. Okay, the deterioration of Oliver is so disappointing to watch. Such a class act. Anyway, he was always first picked in most people's teams. Now, at his price, when I'm looking at him. Anyway, Simpkin, 114. Jets. Okay, he was on 75 points at 3/4 time. So the points haven't come from scaling. 25 touches, 76%, only one clanger. I really like him. Okay, and he's only 400k. Mind you, I got him a lot cheaper. Okay, but he's 400k. I think it's cheap. I highly endorse Simpkin at 400k for your F6, F7 spot. Okay, no hesitation. Now, Fisher went nuts in the last quarter. Okay, because he was going bad, but he went nuts. And Tom Powell was taking a kickings. Okay, can you believe it? So Powell went into defence this week. Of all the weeks, I'll get rid of him. He goes to defence, but still didn't do much. So it didn't matter. Okay, but when I saw him, I was so upset. I could have covered down. Anyway, he's not there anymore. He's not in my team. And that's pretty much it for North Melbourne. If you got Comben still, just a surprise package, okay? Still scoring the 109s. How many marks did he take? 6 marks, mainly contested, okay? Great value if you got him early. We now go to Essendon and West Coast. Now, with Essendon, there is Caldwell 115, 26 touches. Absolutely loved his game, okay? Even though he butchered it. Okay, he went at 69%. It was a lot lower, and then he sort of picked up. But great game by Caldwell. Now, Setterfield got dropped. Now, does Setterfield come back to the team? We don't know. We know Parrish comes back in 4 or 5 weeks. So, in 4 or 5 weeks' time, what's Caldwell's role going to be? Because he's been tagging lately, or a run with, they call it, okay? So, it's run with, and then when they got the ball, it's run without. Okay, that's what they call it now. So, is Caldwell going to keep his run-with role? Is he going to play forward? That's why the hesitation, when I couldn't think what to do. But when I saw in the team selections, there's no Setterfield, I straight away picked Caldwell. But if Setterfield comes back, then what do you do? Okay? Anyway, I want to talk about, where is he? Okay, I endorsed this player this week, all week, Ridley. I want to talk about Ridley. Okay, I said to everyone, get Ridley. Even I was going to get him, but I couldn't. Scored 84. Okay, now that's not much. Okay, it's not disaster, but it's not much. Okay, now here's the problem with Essendon. They played West Coast. Mind you, West Coast had 27 shots on goal, so the ball did get there. But for some reason, Essendon's defence, they didn't score. Okay, have a look at all the defence. Okay, you got McGrath 93, Ridley 84, Heppel 80, Redmond 78, Kelly 59, Mackay 55. The defence is usually up the top here, the highest scorers. And their midfielders is usually around here. Besides Merritt's, usually you'll see all the defenders scoring high. But this week, defenders were very low. So there wasn't much action. Okay, a lot of the action was midfield. And that's why the midfielders scored so well. So if you own Ridley, don't panic. Okay, he's going to score very high for you for the remainder. Actually, I'm happy he scored low. Hopefully he scores another low one so I can get him cheap. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Now, West Coast. Elliot Yosback, 139. Huge game. Only 20 touches, but with a goal, but 16 clearances, 13 tackles. It's a massive game. And they got Reid coming back this week, Harley Reid. Okay, now when Reid and Yo are together, Yo goes even more nuts. So we'll see how that goes. And he's cheap. He's very cheap still, about 500k. So if you want to get Yo, it's a good time to get him. You just got to risk it if you want to worry about the injury. He may get injured, but I wouldn't hesitate. Although I'm not going to get him, okay, so I'm hesitating, just coming down. Anyway, but he's a Jets, okay. Just too risky for me. If it was round 20, I had trades left, I'd probably get him then. But it's just a bit risky right now. I'll probably wait a bit. Liam Ryan, he played midfield. Scored an 87. He's very cheap, 270k or something. Now, with Ryan, does he stay in that midfield? Because they had Harley Reid not there. So when Harley Reid comes back, does Harley Reid replace Ryan, or does he replace Duggan, who also played in the midfield? So one of these two is going to move out, and we're going to have Harley Reid in there. So which one? We're going to find out. If you can wait a week and see Ryan with Reid in the team and see if he does it again, because no goals in the score. So he scored an 87, there's no goals. Nothing spectacular. Probably one spectacular mark, that's about it. And so it's not a bad effort. And now, probably good for a spare as the what is it, the F7, okay, for Liam Ryan. But not this week. Watch one more week. Pay a little bit extra, okay? Sometimes you got to pay the extra. And that's pretty much it for West Coast. Now we've got a Freo and Gold Coast. Now at Freo, well, we've already discussed we're the defenders. Okay, we're a bit worried about them now. Now I'm a bit worried about Clark, even though he scored 100 still. I mean, I'm not worried about the 100, but I'm worried about scoring power now with the fact that they're not sharing the ball. So we'll see how Clark goes. But maybe later on, if I have trades left, I'll upgrade him to maybe Ridley. We'll see how that. We'll think about it. Okay. Now, Young is sort of up and down. Okay, he's going to have a big week. He kicked 3 goals. Okay, he's not going to get 3 goals every week. So his 130 comprises of that 3 goals as well, and they're impact goals. So the score is sort of it's sort of hidden. Okay, with the 3 goals. If I'd rather he scored a 130 without any goals, and then say he scored a 130 in the midfield spot, like for example, we see every week. The top 4 midfielders do. Anyway, going further down, there's no one else besides Fife. He's finished. Okay, it's over. Okay, they said that he's going to be in beast mode. Okay, Fife in beast mode. His beast mode is very bad. Okay, this is not beast mode. Okay, I don't want to put him down. Okay, because he's a legend. I don't want to say nothing bad. But unfortunately. He's become like Dusty, the grandpa. Okay, they're old. Okay, you can't expect the young kids, young generation, and the older generation. Sometimes it just goes past them. And unfortunately for Nat Fife, it's just past him now. Okay, I'm sorry to say that. Now, Gold Coast, Will Powell. Okay, let's talk about Will Powell. Let's have a look at his price. If we go to kick-ins, Flanders is taking 6. Powell's taking 1. Okay, it's not like Powell took a lot of kick-ins because Sexton hogged them again. He got 20 points from kick-ins. And Joel Jeffrey just took the 1. So, Powell's not getting his points from kick-ins. So, where's he get? Let's have a look at his heat map. Well, pretty much, he's all over the place. Okay, he's got a good role. Okay, he's not locked in one spot. Virtually, he's given a license to go around wherever he wants. It doesn't look like it's a running, attacking defender. It's a good thing. It's very similar to Clark. So it's virtually, do you want Rowell or do you want Clark? Okay, it's virtually the same thing, but Rowell's probably, or Powell, is probably a little bit cheaper. Now, let's get back, since we're talking about Powell, let's talk about Rowell. Okay, now, where's Rowell? Is Rowell even in, here he is, scored 82 points. He actually went at 60%, 15 contested possessions. I don't know what it is. The first 7 rounds of the year, all right, he was rated the number 1 player in Supercoach. He was averaging 131. First 7 rounds. The next 7 rounds, he's averaging 90. 40-point drop-off next 7 weeks from the first 7. That's massive. That's 280-point drop-off. I can't hold him anymore. Okay, I'm gonna have to let him go. I actually wanted to hold him and get rid of Walsh, but unfortunately, even Walsh is better than him now. The weapon is out of bullets. Instead of having the machine gun that he had in the first 7 rounds, he's now got a water pistol. Okay, and it doesn't even have any water in there. There's no water in the water pistol. Just calm it down. We're going to go to our league matchups from last week, just so I can give a mention to the players that I played against. Okay, now Supercoach of DR's league. Actually, I played DR, okay, and had a win over DR. It was actually it was actually a blockbuster. It was the MCG packed crowd, okay, it was full, and it was first versus second, and we had a little win last week against the DR. Now, the Scodfather Cup 1, we played Lee from Wardlaw and Order, and we got a hiding. They taught us how to play footy, okay, they smashed us. Now, in Scodfather Cup 2, we played against Didax Rat Pack, okay, and that's Jack's team. And unfortunately for Jack, the team on top of the ladder, Abs Magic, they had a win. Now, Scodfather Legends, my nemesis, okay, JP, okay, now Ray Magoo, he had a win, okay, he beat me again. So, I lost to him by 99 points. Now, going further down, we go to Scodfather Cup 4 and Joshua. That's Ginny's Secret Powder. Okay, now Joshua's ranked 3rd, and Abs Magic had to come back and win that one. So, unfortunately for Joshua, he had a bit of a loss. Now, Scodfather Cup 5. Play against my boy here, Fahri. Okay, now, unfortunately for Fahri, Fapa Karma. Okay, is what he calls himself, Papa Karmas, okay, they had a loss to Abs Magic in Scodfather Cup 5. Now, Scodfather Cup 6, we played against Bruce, the New Pies. Unfortunately, because they're a new team, they're the New Pies, they found that they're going a bit tough against the old Abs Magic team. Okay, now, and in Scodfather Cup 7, which we're struggling in, and we'll just come back now, okay? We'll come to 3rd now, or that was last week. We copped a hiding this week. But anyway, we played against Ned's Nightmare, and unfortunately for Ned, he had a loss. And the young man, Ned, I feel sorry for him, ranked 20th. He's got to do something now. Let's have a look at, actually, what's he doing? What's Ned doing? What happened to Ned's team last week? Mind you, he may have improved this week, okay? So, Ned's team last week, not just a buy around. So who do you have missing? He virtually had the whole team missing last week. So virtually, it actually wasn't a fair contest, okay? So I didn't have as many as him missing. Now, the week just gone past, round 15. We played Supercoach of DR, well, in the Supercoach of DR's league. Played against Nat, and unfortunately for Nat, okay, he faced Abs Magic, okay, and coming first in a big league there, very happy. Now, Scodfather Cup 1. Trent, Dusty is a lord. Okay, now, unfortunately for Trent, he copped a loss here. It was a very small loss. So it was a close game, but Dusty's team just didn't happen this week for them. Now, Scodfather Cup 2, we had a game against Andrew, the Butchers of Burswood. Okay, now, unfortunately for the Butchers of Burswood, they copped a shellacking. Okay, Average Magic, 200-point win there. Now, we go further down, and we go to Scodfather Legends. Well, we'll go to Scodfather Legends in a minute. Okay, we go to Scodfather Cup 3. And Andrew. Now, if you don't know who Andrew is, now, if you go to YouTube and type in Supercoach Lock, like I did, okay, you'll see Andrew. That's Andrew's team here. And that's him there, okay? He's a very funny man. And actually, my son-in-law, that's his brother, okay? And he's ranked in the top 500, so he's doing really well. And he puts up a video virtually every day, okay? So he doesn't have all the subscribers that he should have. I'm actually surprised. He's got 287. He should have 2,000. That's how good he is. You have to listen to him. He's very funny. So anyway, that's Supercoach Lock. So this week, we had a win over him, and I'm very happy to beat Andrew, okay, because bragging rights. Now, going further down, Scodfather Cup 4, we played against McStain the Toilet, okay, which is what I've been doing lately, okay. So McStain the Toilet, that's Mitchell's team. It was a close game, okay, and unfortunately had to go to the toilet last minute, so that's when they lost. Just coming down. Now, if we go to Scodfather Cup 5, and we play against Joe's team, and that's Your Mama So Fat. Now, unfortunately for Joe's team, they lost by 500 points, okay, because they've been eating too much. Just coming down. Now, we got a Scodfather Cup 6, and we go to Mitchell's team. That's Mitch's Meatheads, and unfortunately for them, the Meatheads, they had a bit of a loss to Abs Magic, coming first at Scodfather Cup number 6. Now, the toughest league, which is the Scodfather Cup 7. Don't know how this one became the toughest one, but out of all my Scodfather Cups, we'll go for them in a minute. This is the toughest one. And as you can see here, the God Squad. I had to face the God Squad. Of all the teams to face, I copped the God Squad this week, and Ryan's team smashed me. Had a percentage boost. Even though they're ranked 15th, they've got a God Squad. Okay, so had a smashing. Now, let's go back up here. Let's have a look at Scodfather Legends, okay, the Legends of the Scodfather's Cup, and let's go to all the games, okay. Now, Damon had a match-up against Stephen SD, and Stephen had a bit of a win here, so he's very happy, young man. Now, MJ copped a loss to George Terrors. Now, George Terrors has been terrorising everyone lately, so he terrorised the coaches panel's MJ, okay, and I heard rumours that MJ wasn't very happy about this. Now, we go to Al Payton, and he's gone bananas. Okay, he's lost the plot. Okay, now he's ranked one. I'll show you in a minute. Top 130. He was projected to score 2,300 plus. Unfortunately, in the last game, all his plays let him down. So he still scored 2,202, which is top 1% score. But he was going to smash the doors down to the top 1% this week. And he defeated Joe from centre bounce, my boy here. Now, Tim Mitchell had a win over Pistol this week. It was a 50 or 40-point victory there. Swizz came back with a big score this week. Swizz was in town, okay, and unfortunately for Swizz, JP all of a sudden has woken up, okay. Now, the sleeping giant JP is back. Now, he's terrorising everyone in the top 1%. And scored a 22-39 against 22-01. So Swizz wasn't very happy with this score because Swizz should have won this game. But anyway, so JP knocked out Swizz this week. The Mini Monk has bounced back. Okay, now he scored a 21-58. But unfortunately for the Mini Monk, Janaf, who's also in the top 300, scored a 21-74. So it was a very close game there. Now, we played against JD, and unfortunately for JD, he had a few players missing again. As you can see, he's been very unlucky. Sometimes you just get unlucky, okay? And for JD, McKercher has virtually destroyed him the last few weeks. It's 400k on the bench, okay? And it was very tough. You make a decision. Do you hold him or do you wait? When McKercher says he's only out for 1 week in his press conference, it gives you hope, so you hold him. But he didn't expect McKercher to be out for 4 or 5 weeks, so that hurt JD, and he's feeling it right now with him. Now, next game up, we got Bryce Mitchell, who's a legend, against Dan Batten, another legend. That's why they're playing the Scodfather Legends, okay? Because everyone here is a legend, okay? Anyway, and Dan Batten had a big win here. Dan Batten is terrorising the top 1% as well. And now my boy here, Selby, he messaged me during the week, and he said some words to me which made my day. He made me very happy, and so I just want to say thank you, Selby, for that message. And it meant a lot to me. And unfortunately for Selby this week, DR bounced back because he was upset with me last week. So he bounced back for a big score, 22-12. But once again, thank you for that message, Selby. Now we're going to go to the league rankings now. Okay, now we're going to leave the Scodfather Legends last. Now, Supercoach of DR's league, it's ranked 7th now. Massive. And obviously, it's because it's DR's league. DR's coming 2nd. Okay, so he wants to win his own league, so that's how it works. Okay, now, Scodfather Cup 1, it's ranked 93rd. Okay, it's doing well. Scodfather Cup 2, ranked 71. Okay, that's doing well. Scodfather Legends, actually that's ranked 2nd right now, which we'll go to in a minute. Scodfather Cup 3, this is the only league at the moment that's not doing that well. It's 340. It's still doing well. 345 is not bad, but we're not clicking as a unit right here in this league. Okay, so something wrong. So we'll have to have a conversation, a meeting. Now, Scodfather Cup 4. Rank 50. Now, this is the highest ranking, 57th. Okay, so that's the best rank. Matt's on top. What's Matt doing here? Let's have a look. That's Lana's Legends coming 22nd. Okay, oh my God. Okay, now Lana's Legends coming 20. Let's get back there. Who's he got in his team? Okay, see Whitfield's. He's got Dan Houston. Got Dacos on the bench. Okay, so must have a forward. Got 5. So 5's going to go out, and we're going to have Fisher come. He's got a spare. How does everyone have a spare already? So Fisher's going to come to the forward line. 5 goes out. You can actually have another spare. Okay, 5 could even be a spare, or get splash some cash and get someone else. Because you could even got Oliver as a spare. Okay, this is a massive team from Lanan's Legends. Okay, that's huge. What's the second ranked team? Bailey 19. Okay, he's going 24.87, so he's got a bit of work to do. Okay, what's Jimmy's team? Doodle team 149, another big one. Okay, now he's got 2 here as well. He's got Chris and Dacos. Well, the Bond comes there, so he replaces him. Okay, so he's got 1 spare there, but he needs 1 over here. So he's probably going to pick 1 up this week and have a spare as well. So Jimmy's Doodle team also has a spare, and he's killing it right now. Who else we got? We got Aaron. Okay, okay. So Aaron's got a bit of work to do. All right, and that's pretty much. We'll have a look at Joshua's team. Okay, he's getting jealous. Okay, so Joshua, got a bit of work to do as well. Now let's go to Scodfather Cup 5. Okay, now this team is ranked. Well, this group's ranked 98. It's doing very well now. Supercoach Potato. That's Andrew from Twitter. Okay, also Captain's Corner. So he's doing very well this week, this year. As is Fletcher, the Duke. Okay, now Duke finished top 200. He was in top 100 last year. And we've got the Rain Man. That's Rob's team. He's doing well. Now, Scodfather Cup 6. Let's have a look. How's that? That's ranked 91. We've got virtually everyone ranked in the top 100 except for 1 league. Okay, now Big Will. That's Ollie's team. Let's have a look at his ranking. Top 1,000. Okay, top 900. Jonty's team, the Super Pies. He's come back to 2,300. He'll be in the top 1,000. Tate, that's a Dream Team. Where's he ranked? Okay, well the Dream Team is not doing that well at the moment. But how are you ranked 4th? Okay, that's incredible. Okay, now Zane must be very upset about this. Now, where's Zane ranked? 274. Now, Zane ranked 274, and the team ranked 10,000 is above him. Work that one out. Anyway, let's go to Scodfather Cup 7. Okay, now this was the toughest league. 56. What's Scodfather Cup 3? Actually, I think we've got 4, sorry. That's 56. 57, so very virtually next to each other. Okay, so they're fighting now to be the toughest league. So Scodfather Cup 6. And we have Logan Markov. This Markon Markov is not letting go of this top spot. He's driving me nuts right now. Anyway, so, and what's he ranked? 880. He's actually killing it this year. And Alec Warner Brothers, okay, ranked 7,300. Okay, Alec's doing a magnificent job with that ranking to have 11 wins and 3 losses. You got the actual best team. That's Thomas, ranked 333. A lot of high rankings here. Let's have a look at Scodfather Legends. Now, this is the second hardest league. There's one harder than this one, and we need to knock them off, okay? So we're going to have a meeting for the boys. Okay, we're going to produce something. Now, Janaf, he's going nuts. Ranking for Janaf, 243. Absolutely killing it, okay? On top of the ladder. Supercoach DR, okay? He's moved in the top 1,000. I told you it was coming. He came. He's arrived, okay? So, DR's in there now. Al Payton, 132. Okay, huge, massive. I can't wait till Al Payton's top 100. Okay, now, Tim coming 5th. Tim's top 600. That's Tim Mitchell, okay, from the Herald Sun. Okay, and that was Al Payton from the Herald Sun. Now, Dan Batten from the Herald Sun, 947. So far, every team up to number 6 is in the top 1,000. Damon is in the top 2,000, but still getting there. Okay, is flying. The Mini Monk, he was in the top 200 at one stage. Is going to be back in the top 200 very soon. He's a Jet. Okay, and the Mini Monk will be back soon. The team is terrorizing everyone. That's George's Terror Squad. Okay, now he's arrived. Top 765. Been very unlucky. He had 3 games early in the year, lost by 3 points. All of them. All 3 games, 3 points. He sacked those players. They're gone. Okay, so George's Terror is now in the top 9, but banging the door down to come in. Okay, he's knocking. No one lets him in at the moment. He'll come. And now we've got Pistol here. 1,500. That's huge, okay? We've got JD, top 2,000, and JD will bounce back. I mean, his boy's going to play soon, so as soon as he gets his boy back, the Kirch, JD will bounce back. And we've got Selby, and now Selby's come from nowhere. He was ranked, I would love to see him, but I'm sure it was around about 80,000. Now he's 2,000. That's how that's how they work. He's going to finish top 1,000 guaranteed, okay? Now, you got Joe from Centre Bounce. Okay, now he's struggling this year, but he'll bounce back. The year that I came 4th, Joe came 130th. So Joe's a Jet. Okay, so just this year hasn't whatever he's done hasn't worked out. Plus he didn't start with Gorn, and that hurt. Actually, has Gorn arrived in his team yet? Well, he's got Gorn now. Okay, but now he's got English. Okay, so, he wants to have Grundy. So he's just been unlucky. Okay, now we go to JP. Now JP's bounced back. He's now 1,800 in the top 1%. So JP's back in business. We've got Swizz. He's bouncing back. Okay, he was up to 20,000 just 3 weeks ago. Now he's back in business. Swizz will be in the top 1% soon. So virtually all these teams here are flying. Okay, now we need Bryce Mitchell on the bottom. He's gonna lift soon. Whoever goes on the bottom wins. I mean, Steve did it this week, okay? So you can see, anyone that goes to the bottom, they come back and bounce. MJ's bounced back. Everyone bounces back. I'd like to apologise for last week for not making any videos, okay? The throat, the sore throat. I had a frog in there, okay? And the aliens, they put the frog in my throat, so I was unable to talk. Every time I was going to say something, I started coughing. It just became irritating. Virtually today is the first time that I'm not actually coughing, okay? Even though I am a little bit, not much. So it takes a week, I think, to overcome this. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.